Agnus Dei, Agnus Dei, qui dormis, miserere, qui dormis, dona nobis miserere, qui dormis, dona nobis Agnus Dei, Agnus Dei, qui dormis, miserere, qui dormis, dona nobis
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it!
A few moments later.
Hell just happened. Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Sports Church right here on Barracks Party Media. I am your host, John Cremering, aka Minnie. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. 2311 was my MOS. Of course, I'm going as Friar Minnie. Thank you for gathering together at Sports Church, where we gather together to worship at the altar of competition, where grown men and women play with balls, drive around in circles, and beat the shit out of each other. We got a lot to unpack in a short time to do it, so we will get to it lickety split, first in, first up. He's a United States Marine Corps veteran as well. He's from the great state of Wisconsin, which is where I actually hail from as well. His MOS was calm, so you see how good his feed does today. We'll see, but it's indicative of his job. I'm just telling you, he's a very good friend of mine. He's been a part of the bar and Sports Church for quite a few years. And if you're listening with headphones or earbuds, or you have the TV, you're doing the Dean, and you're streaming us to the TV. Make sure you you take appropriate measures for his call, because it's a little loud. Yeah. What's up, dude?
Oh, not much. Well, we've made it to the month of June, also dubbed as Pride Month, which is very weird to me because who you're sleeping with isn't really an accomplishment. You think about like the water cooler conversations sitting around at work. You know, I might be like, oh, I'm really proud of my daughter. She had a great game, had a shutout. Here's a picture or a video. Or I'm proud of my son. He's learning a new language to go study overseas. You know what? The guy really isn't sitting around the water cooler being proud. Like, boy, I tell you what, my boy can really take the cocks. I mean, look at this. I got a picture. Look at that. That thing's got to be like 13 inches. I couldn't do that. The gag reflex would just kick in. Like, oh. And then, you notice it's right next to all these blank spots in my wallet of all the grandkids I'm never going to have. Or maybe, oh, I'm really proud of my daughter. You know, she thinks she's a cat. Here's a picture of her in her fucking costume. So, yeah, June's a weird month to me.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. No worries, though. All right. Next up, he has been my friend for over 25 years. We met in the beautiful all-inclusive resort known as 43 Area Las Pulgas. Guest of the most holistic company in Marine Corps history, that being Ammo Company, part of the 1st Supply Battalion, 1st Force Support Group, the very proud 1st Marine Division. Nonetheless, we got into lots of shenanigans, but he is a reformed man now and goes by the name of Brother Bishop Pook Dog.
Yes, it's the Brother Bishop Pook Dog from the Spur Sports Church. Nothing but the truth. Brother T, my man. I don't know why you got to inject these racist, sexist, homophobic politics into our lovely broadcast.
Okay, it's yours, okay? Okay.
Are you trying to get us deplatformed again?
Hey, I just call him how I see him.
Well, I thought this was American Pride Month because Sean Strickland made it American Pride Month.
It's already started.
Yeah.
I can't get my glasses straight.
It was kind of a boring fight, but he dominated it.
Oh, that was a boring fight. We'll get into that later. I was talking about his take on Pride Month. He's got T-shirts that have American Pride Month.
Oh, right.
June.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's hustling. But we'll get into all that. There's a lot. I got a lot to talk about. They said last night was a really boring card. I watched last night's card. I stayed up. I made Miss Ellie stay up with me watching it. And I watched the whole thing in its entirety, and I didn't really think it was that boring. You know, we got a lot to get into also because the Jake Paul Tyson fight was canked. So we'll get into all that later during the show.
All righty. Sorry, I'm doing double duty. Next up, we call him Pops because, he's my Pops on this show. He's Reverend Pops. He's been in the auto racing business for over 50 years. So, you know, he knows what he's talking about. Without further ado, the one and only Reverend Pops. Welcome to Sports Church.
Good afternoon, everybody. I haven't been defrocked.
Oh.
I just left my shirt and collar in Louisville.
See,
but anyway, good racing going on today. There are Indy cars up in Detroit, in downtown Detroit. So that is impressive, to say the least. And then the big boys from NASCAR are all over the place. 2 different tracks. St. Louis had won, and I can't remember where the other guys are. But we'll get that all straight while we're listening to Pook tell us what went on in the world of mixed martial arts.
Okay, you ready for me, Minnie?
Sure.
You're ready for me. All right. Well, before I get into the world of mixed martial arts, let's talk a little boxing news. It's actually the first thing I got for you. Big Bang Zhang, a giant Chinaman that seems to get better. I shouldn't call him a Chinaman. I should call him.
Is he from China?
Yeah.
Is he a man?
Chinaman, right?
All right.
Is that okay? Yeah.
You can call him a Chinaman.
Okay. Well, he's giant.
Are you calling Mr. Wuhan?
The giant. I don't know. I'm not sure if he hails from anywhere near Wuhan. I'm not exactly sure where in China. He is no longer living in China. He lives and trains in the U.S. like most fighters do, or England, right? But this fight happened in Saudi Arabia. That seems to be where all the big fights happen now. And Big Bang Zhang took on Deontay Wilder. We know Deontay Wilder from his famous jump hook knockouts and fighting Tyson Fury and knocking Tyson Fury out and having Tyson Fury rise like Lazarus and win that round and win the fight on points after that. So we know who these guys are. But this big Chinese fella, he seems to just get better and better with age. He's getting better, it seems like. And I heard an announcer say during the fight that he would get outclassed by Joshua. I don't know. They got to fight, man. They're heavyweights. Let's see him fight. You know, he's bigger than Wilder by like 40 pounds, I believe. He outweighed Wilder by like 40 pounds. Go ahead if you got that clip. We got the Big Bang Zhang knocking out Wilder clip. Seeing's believing. I figured you guys would want to know what I'm talking about. That's why I sent this to many. Pretty spectacular.
Which
spins them around. The very top. We're going from the top to the bottom. But don't get ahead of me because I'm going to be talking a lot of fluff in between. I
got one that says crack up edits, and then I have one with a bunch of pictures.
No, this one's on the very top. It's the very first one I sent you. It's going to say
you sent me so much crazy shit. I don't know which one's which.
I sent you one video. I sent you one video, the first one I sent you. And then the rest are pictures, and we'll just go in order from when chronological order. Look at the time.
I'll get it in a second.
We're golden, man. It's gonna be we are because when you see this knockout, it's gonna be worth the wait. Trust me. If you haven't seen the knockout, it's gonna be worth the wait. It's pretty sick knockout. It almost
every time I try and share this, it freezes up my fucking phone, Pook.
Pook, I tried to call John the other night when the Poirier and John's buddy had the fight that they had, in which the man got pointed out. I guess the best way to explain it. And I couldn't get a hold of John, so he missed out on it. It was on ESPN too.
All right, let's try this again. It's Jesus, man. Catching it is the worst clip ever. I'll get it, but fucking hell. Like, seriously. Hopefully it'll just play again. This is what we're hoping for. Because every time I click on it, he's knocked out. It's like, what the fuck?
Did it take not too long for him to get knocked out, Luke?
Well, no.
He turned around into a right cross.
Well, he got clipped. You can see it in slow motion. I don't have the slow motion footage because I didn't want to get dinged by the powers that be for having actual broadcast. We playing an actual broadcast. So I took some fan footage of the knockout and that I found on Instagram. But you see it in slow motion. Zane clips him like right on the nose, man. And when he gets hit on the nose, he turns away. And when he goes, he gets hurt. He gets hurt. He don't know where he's even at. It seems like he was running away from the fight. He was.
You never turn your back in a fight like that. He obviously didn't know where he was.
Absolutely, but yeah, he didn't know. He got clipped. He got clipped really good, really hard. Bam, But it was only like that much of the glove, probably. Only the top of the glove, but it was enough to send him spinning.
You get hit on the button. That's how it is.
Deontay Wilder, he's the only guy that seems to get worse the more boxing knowledge he gets. The more boxing knowledge Deontay Wilder has received over the years and processed, and the more of a defensive fighter he's become a worse boxer. He's become a worse fighter.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to stick with what works for you.
You're tripping me out with that, Miss Ellie. Man, oh man, she's got me. Let me tell you.
What's she doing to you, Pook?
She's playing. She's listening to the broadcast, but she's got it on speaker, and I can hear everything, like a echo of what I'm saying.
So
I feel like a
yeah.
goofball, man. I don't know
But
what
it's
the hell
like
she's
5
doing over
seconds
there.
behind.
Yeah, it's tripping me out. I'm like, do I really sound like that big of an idiot? What the hell? God damn it. Yeah, exactly. All right, moving right along. So Wilder quit after this. That was his last fight, and that's how it goes. I mean, like I said, the more he progressed in his boxing, the worse of a fighter he became. That's the way to say it. When the guy was running around, and the level of competition might have a lot to do with it too, but when the guy was running around making basketball moves, throwing jump hooks at people, he seemed to do better, and he put these guys out of their element because they're not used to seeing that kind of crazy shenanigans, and it worked for him. And if it works, why quit using it? I don't know. I'm not handling Deontay Wilder's career.
Like I was saying earlier, some of it could be too just trying to add too much to your repertoire. Sometimes you gotta stick with what you're good at. I know, like I used to wrestle when I was a kid, and Dennis Hall was a big deal back then. He was a silver medalist from here in the state of Wisconsin in the Olympics, and he always said he wouldn't add any moves into what he did until he practiced it at least 200 times before he would use it in a match. And sometimes it's like, I just learned this new thing, I want to try it out, but you got to make sure you master it before you incorporate it into what you're doing.
It's this it's just this boxing defense and this jab, man. It just doesn't jive with the way he used to fight, and maybe he might not have got Zhang the way he used to fight, but it looked, man, it was not what I remember Wilder being. It definitely wasn't the Wilder that fought the Gypsy King the first time. That wasn't what we saw last night. But moving on from there, let's talk a little bit of UFC, because they said this was a really boring card. I don't believe it to be a boring card at all. Starting out with the Randy Brown, Zelensky dos Santos fight.
That was a good fight.
Man, that went back and forth, didn't it? I mean,
that was a good fight.
There was a time when dos Santos looked like he was gonna sub Randy Brown out. Didn't Randy Brown look like he might have been in a lot of trouble?
Yeah, and then there were times where Randy Brown had Dos Anjos on the ropes.
A lot of times. That's why I believe he passes a playground test with this unanimous decision victory, because Randy Brown had him in more trouble more often. Just plain and simple. 2 + 2 = 4 in this instance. So that was a good fight, though. That was entertaining to watch. The Nico Price fight. Nico Price didn't get the knock.
I was going to say the one thing with the Randy Brown fight, I tweeted this out last night because this was the first event with the new gloves, right? And right away in that fight, you had 3 eye pokes in the fight. So like,
both fighters?
No, it was all Randy. It was Randy Brown getting Dos Anjos all 3 times. One of them they didn't stop the fight for, but it's like, well, that's always been the thing. Like Joe Rogan's always like, oh, we got to do something about these gloves. Well, they got new gloves, and the problem still hasn't been.
Yeah, that was just to make Travis Lutter rich. Anyway, moving on.
What's the difference in the gloves?
Weight.
Weight, and I think the leather comes out a little bit further on the knuckle too.
Oh, wow.
It's supposed to curve the hand, so you have to actually open up the hand. The hand's supposed to stay something like that unless you open it up.
All right.
These guys are always opening up their hands, and they're always going to be poking each other in the eyes, though, probably.
Well, yeah,
but
the eye pokes were when he had his hands like this defending, just kind of a reaction.
These gloves in the gloves defense and the UFC's defense, Bellator was using a similar glove for years, and it seemed to have worked better for him. Some of the fighters, they don't like it, but people don't like change anyway. Change, sometimes you got to embrace change. Change is the only thing that's constant. Some people don't like the pitch clock, like rat-faced pitchers and people like that. But, this is going on. This glove change is going on, and it's the future. It's like when you're going to have to get that Neuralink implanted. It'll just,
Yeah, not going to happen.
You'll be able to park your Tesla with it, dude. Stop it. So anyway,
Nobody's putting a computer chip in my brain.
Whatever, dude. You're gonna have to get it. You won't be able to buy food without it. You'll be hooked.
Wow.
You'll be hooked on there.
I'll
Okay,
have to
so
get
you got
better at hunting.
you got Kevin Holland, right? Kevin Holland. Oh, I didn't talk about Nico Price, the Nico Price fight. Real quick about that Nico Price fight, because I was saying this fight card wasn't boring. It never happened. The second shoe never dropped. But in the last round of that Nico Price Morano fight, Alex Morano looked like he could freaking drop at any time.
Yeah, he was
It
gassed.
looked like,
He's got
yeah,
to work
but
on
it
his
looked,
cardio.
man, it was so close though to a knockout. It was so close. So, I mean, it was exciting in the fact that I was waiting to see a car crash. I thought for sure he was going timber, and it never happened. But yeah.
Well,
Moving on to the Kevin Holland fight.
He needs to work on his cardio, because the first round his footwork was really good. He was moving and popping, and he was landing some good shots on Price. But in mid-second round, third round, you could tell he couldn't move like he was. Part of it was he gassed out.
He didn't look bad. Okay, he did not look bad in the first round and a half or so. The thing is, though, I'm sure he was gassed. You could see him breathing out of his mouth. You could see him breathing heavy. But how much of that phase of that fog that he was actually in, how much of that was conditioning, and how much was that getting racked up against the head? You know what I mean? It looked like the guy was not reacting fast anymore to punches.
Yeah, but
like
he was landing the better shots up until that point, and then all of a sudden, when he started the gas, that's when Price started really finding spots on some of those shots.
Yeah,
because Price landed his better shots in the second half.
Well, you're right. The problem was him gassing, but I think he was he's definitely got concussed last night. You know, a little CTE action for that ass. Kevin Holland, brother. Kevin Holland, brother. Minnie, please.
Yes.
Pull up the first slide I sent you. These are all just pictures from now on, because I don't want to get you in any trouble. I'm not like T.
Hey, I just call him like I see him. Actually, I watched the Norm Macdonald's. I watched the Norm Macdonald skit before we went live, and part of that was Norm Macdonald and just expanding on it.
Right on. He's passed away, huh?
Yeah.
God rest his soul. So yeah, as you can see here, the circle part here, he actually I'm gonna butcher this guy's name because he's Polish, but Michael Oleksichuk, Alex Oleksichuk here. He took this fight on very short notice. Came in there. He was very game opponent. He actually cracked Kevin Holland. That's how he got in this position. Cracked Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland was on the ground in a bit of trouble and scrambled and got the arm bar. As you can see here, this arm is severely damaged.
Yes.
Now, Herb Dean, being the good referee that he is and humanitarian, stopped the fight.
Yeah,
I'm going to butcher this guy's name again.
The Polish guy was upset about that.
The Polish guy was pissed. He was legit. You could see his face. He legit thought he got robbed. Incredible.
It's like, dude, your fucking arm is done.
Done.
Your arm is done, son.
I think it's amazing that they put a hula hoop in the ring.
You could see before Holland broke it. You could see him talking beforehand. He's like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm gonna have to do it. And, and then his arm just went completely backwards. It's like, oh fuck.
I turned to Miss Ellie and I said, Kevin Holland ain't gonna break his arm. He's too nice. And then he twists. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it. And then I'm like, oh. And then dude gets up. And if you see in slow motion when he gets up, his arm's like wobbling. He's like,
what did you call the fight?
His arm's like wobbling when he gets up. It's like arms ain't supposed to wobble like that, dude. Oh my god. And people said this was not an exciting fight card. Maybe because of the Sean Strickland Paulo Costa fight. Maybe that's what did it, because the main event was a killer.
That fight was boring.
We'll get into that. I watched this stupid fight twice, trying to see something different the second time. Maybe I watched it the first time in the break room, and then the second time I watched it pretty much right before we jumped on. really, man, it was like Paulo. You saw the fight, T. It was like
I went to my brother's last night and watched.
He's trying to collect a check. It looked like Paulo Costa was in there for a sparring session, like some kind of exhibition where he's.
Yeah, it was just the whole fight was just. The whole fight was just Strickland marching down Costa and throwing a few kicks here and there and a few punches, and Costa backing up the whole time. It was just stalking the whole time.
Costa was backing up the whole time. He would land one out of every 3 strikes, maybe, or less than that, and Strickland was just picking him apart. Almost everything he was throwing landed. He threw some really hard shots too, but nothing to put him out of there. It wasn't like Strickland knew he was way ahead on the scorecard. Why wouldn't you keep fighting that same freaking fight, just marching him straight down? Cormier was saying you should cut off the ring on him. Why? If he's going to let him do that.
The best part of that fight was the last 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
But Strickland turned it on in the last 15 seconds and was going for the KO in the last 15.
Strickland mixed it up. He was throwing freaking movie kicks, man, at the end.
Yeah.
Like 1980s. Dude, it was 1980s Chuck Norris freaking movie kicks throwing at the end of that. So, I mean, I just mixed it up.
But what I'm trying to figure out, too, watching that fight is who was the judge that scored 49-46 Costa? There's no reason that you had one judge 50-45 Strickland and then another judge 49-46 Costa.
Yeah, we know.
How is there that big of a disparity in the judging?
It's politics, man. That's politics. That's obvious politics.
Fight that guy was watching.
I mean,
that should have been a unanimous.
It was politics, man. It was complete politics. The same way he got robbed out of Duplessis' fight. I mean, it's politics. In the same way he got this fight instead of a rematch for the championship. It's politics. The guy's got a big mouth, He's America first, and some people don't want to hear that shit. They just don't want to hear it. And that's how it is. It's just politics, man. That guy, I don't know that for sure, but how else do you explain that card? I mean, we've had some pretty goofball cards, though. I mean, scorecards. We've had some
that judge should never judge another fight.
Please tell me. And I kept hearing Joe Rogan and Cormier talking about how Costa got a round somewhere. Where did he get the round?
I don't know. I didn't
because they kept talking about it like he had a round somewhere, and they're
Strickland won every round.
Every single freaking round.
Well, I think when the commentators are talking about it, I believe that was after they had the mics in Costa's corner, and his coaches were telling him that he had a round.
No, his coaches told him that. His coaches told him that.
Yeah, which they probably would just tell. Yeah, but his coaches told me he was
ahead. But if I'm not mistaken, maybe I am, but if I'm not mistaken, Cormier and freaking Rogan had Paula Costa winning one round.
I'd have to go back and watch it again. I thought they were more commenting how
they did. Oh, they did. They did. That side did say that.
Trying
that
to
side
keep
said they were ahead. No, Costa's side said he was ahead. This is like round 3, round 4. Rogan said that Costa had one round. And I don't know where that is. Yeah, I don't know how that.
I think Costa's coaches and that one judge got into those Evander Holyfield years. Something.
I don't know. I don't know what they were talking about with that. I think they just wanted to give their boy confidence because it looked like, but he wasn't engaging even in the first round. He wasn't engaging. He's moving backwards the whole fight. I mean, it's easy for me to say. I'm not the one being stalked by Strickland and getting hit with jabs, and none of my punches are connecting when I throw punches. I'm not in his shoes. But I mean, the way he fought that fight, I mean, you were not going to win that fight that way. I mean, it was no chance of winning that fight.
The closest round was the last round, and I still think Strickland won that round too.
Oh, Strickland whooped him that round, man.
Well, at the end, but I mean, up until the last.
They mixed it up. Mixed it up.
Yeah, Costa had his best round for about the first.
No, they mixed it up. They mixed it up. Yeah, they mixed it up. Anyway, moving on to the final match. You can talk about this too, T, because you saw the whole thing as well. We got Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have had you. If you go back one, I'll tell you about that. Okay. That's Sean Strickland That's the whole fight right there. You're watching the whole fight. That's a good. That's right.
Yep.
T. Is
That's
that like
exactly
if you're
what it
going to
was.
the picture's worth 1,000 words? I wouldn't have had to say anything to comment on if we just would have pulled that up. But okay.
You could have taken that same picture about 1,700 times during that fight.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the whole fight. It was pretty much the whole fight. I mean, outside of Costa landing some vicious shots here and there, because he did. He threw some vicious punches that landed, but significant strikes is no. There's no contest.
It was all Strickland. It was just him
All
marching
Strickland.
him down, punch in the face, maybe a low kick to the body, and that was it. It was just
fake the low kick,
Strickland
fake the low
moving
kick,
forward,
fake the low kick,
big
punch the face,
pop him in the jaw.
fake the low kick, fake the low kick, fake the low kick, pop him in the face, pop him in the face, fake the low kick, fake the low kick. All right, you really did low kick him in the stomach. All right, punch to the face. Yeah, all around the ring in circles. But anyway, moving on to the next fight. Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier. The next slide, my man. We had something of a dogfight. Something of a dogfight here. It started
One guy
out.
blocked his head.
Well, this is the choke that ended the fight. This is you got it in
the
a darts choke.
choke. Yeah.
This is a darts choke that ended the fight, but it was a 5-round masterpiece, I'd say. Dustin Poirier did not look so great in the first couple rounds. What do you think about that, T? The first couple rounds.
The first, he didn't look great in the first round. I thought the second round was pretty close. Third round, I thought Makhachev had. Fourth round, you could say Poirier had. But then, fifth round, I thought it might have been. I thought Poirier was still in it in the fifth round, depending on how he scored that second round.
Honestly, man, I got the first round. Obviously, Islam freaking ground and pound smother, submission attempt, freaking first round. Second round, Poirier was game. He scrambled out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
he looked really good.
He escaped 3 takedowns in that
He looked
round,
really good doing that. He looked really good doing that. But Islam had that octagon controlled, man, and he was even landing the more significant strikes at that point, I believe, in my opinion.
I thought it was tight. I thought it was a tight round.
I can't argue with that. But we gotta score each round by round, and I don't even like that. You know that.
Yeah, I know, right?
So right. So I mean, it was a game fight. He was game. To show you how game he is, show the next slide. This is Makhachev after the victory, after he's cleaned up. Take a look at this forehead of his. This is the winner of the fight.
Yeah, that elbow.
Take a look at that forehead, man. That thing was bleeding. That thing was causing him problems in that fifth round. If he wouldn't have got that fight back down to the ground and got Dustin in the choke, I think he was in a lot of trouble with that blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that elbow.
You can't see, man. You can't see when you're bleeding like that. When you're bleeding that much, the blood's dripping right into your eyes, and you can't see. He was leaking all over the place, man. He was in a lot of trouble with that forehead of his, I believe.
Well, and that takedown he got to secure that choke, that was a sick thing of beauty too, because Poirier was stuffing those takedown attempts.
Yeah.
And then he kind of took the ankle and he just reversed direction on it. And the momentum caused Poirier to crash to the mat. And that's when he was able to get around to the head.
No, it was sick. No, it was sick.
He had to change his tactics up, and he came up with that in the middle of the fight. So that was
it was ridiculous. It had his cousin jump out of his seat and run up over the barrier and into the octagon and get freaking barred from the joint. If you saw that clip, I probably should have freaking sent that clip to Minnie, but I was running out of time. I got these in at the last second anyway. So pretty much that's what happened last night in the UFC. We are not yet, homeboy. You're jumping a little bit ahead of me. Those are the Paul brothers. What I wanted to talk about a little bit was the fact that we're going to have a Conor fight soon.
Yeah,
and I believe it's really going to happen. And
I got Chandler in that fight.
I got Chandler in that fight too, but Meany and we're going to have to settle a bet because he knows he's a big time Conor fan. He's a Conor nut hugger, and I think I already owe him a bottle of whiskey as it stands. I think he ought to bet me a fresh bottle of whiskey. So that'd be 2 bottles of whiskey up against no bottles of whiskey, my 0, right? Okay. He gets Connor McNuggets, and I get the winner of this fight. What do you say to that, Minnie?
Well, I mean, I
Is Minnie even there?
this bottle of whiskey because I've got like a Deutsche Bank account as far as betting. But yeah, sure, we'll go 2 bottles to none.
Yeah,
Mark
2
it.
bottles to none, Playboy. Mark it down.
2
It's a
bottles
book
of
bet.
Buffalo Trace.
Ooh.
Is that what it is? Because before I was buying you the high-end Jameson. I owe you 1 bottle of high-end Jameson as it stands right now. And the only reason I haven't bought it for you, can I order it online? Is that possible? You'll pick it
No,
up?
you can't transport liquor. No, you can't transport.
Well, then how are you supposed to collect on these?
Put
How
it
are
in
you
a box. Put it in a
supposed to
box
collect?
and
What if
mail
I
it.
end up-
Figure it out. You're resourceful.
So you're asking me to commit some kind of mail fraud?
I don't know.
Fraud, yep.
I wouldn't talk.
Some kind
I wouldn't talk about it
of
over the
federal
internet.
offense, buddy.
Maybe we should talk about this on air.
A few people have mailed me bottles that they've lost in bets, though. They always showed up.
You know, your dad just scared the crap out of me last week.
Why is that?
Your dad just scared the crap out of me last week with that story about the DEA file this thick. That scared the crap out of me, man. You want me to mail this freaking stuff? Oh my God, man.
Next thing you know, the alcoholic
So
beverage
I'm looking-
commission will be flying out of Columbus, Ohio, going to see.
It'll be a reason for the ATF to come and freaking take my Bible and my AR-15.
There you go.
Anyway, moving on with things.
Yes.
Coming up in UFC 303, baby, we're going to have some Michael Venom Page action. Michael Venom Page. He's going to be fighting Ian Gary. So that'll be interesting. Ian Gary, the guy, you remember Ian Gary, right? The guy whose wife freaking has her ex-husband living with them, being the nutritionist for him, and wrote a book on how to scam athletes. Oh yeah, that Ian Gary, 14-0, ain't never lost to nobody yet. Me fighting my man Michael Venom Page, 22-2 Michael Venom Page. We're gonna see what happens there. If Michael Venom Page hasn't lost his stuff, I think it's a bad matchup for Ian Gary. We'll see what happens. I talked to a buddy of mine. He feels like Ian Gary just has too many tools. I think Ian Gary is a tool. So we'll see what happens. I hope my man Michael Venom Page lands one of them flying knees right in his face and puts him out. That would be freaking great. We're gonna have on that same card. We're gonna have Joe Pfeiffer, Jamal Hill's gonna be fighting on that card. Who else? No real other recognizable names, but we're gonna definitely have Connor Chandler, and that's gonna be for a whiskey bet, my man. For a whiskey bet. All right, you put it down. Playboy. Now you can pull up the Paul brothers, because that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Paul brothers a little bit.
All right. Let's see here.
Is only one of them a boxer?
That's what I'm going to get into, Pops.
Well, why don't you speak up then?
All right, the Mike Tyson fight got canceled due to Mike Tyson's ulcer, right? We know that. Mm-hmm. He's going to be out. He's going to be out training for legit 6 to 12 weeks with this. That's what they're saying. That's what the medical professionals are saying. An ulcer like this, you can't train for another 6 to 12 weeks. So this really sets the fight off track.
So it's never fucking happening.
Well, I wouldn't say never. Tyson's vowing to make it happen. Jake Paul's vowing to make it happen. I'm sure Netflix wants to make it happen. In the meantime, Brother Logan has offered to step in and save the show. So
He's gonna fight his brother.
he's gonna fight his brother, his older brother, his older shit talking brother that thinks he's a better boxer than him, and his older shit talking brother's only fought exhibitions. He fought Floyd Mayweather. We gotta remember something about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is old. Floyd Mayweather weighs 140 pounds. Floyd Mayweather can't throw punches like he used to because his hands have been broken so many times. He doesn't want to break them anymore, especially in an exhibition fight. His hands are brittle. When he fights pro boxers, he doesn't even throw his hands because they're so brittle. Back when he was fighting people like Oscar De La Hoya and people like that, he never knocked out anybody past a certain point in his career when he had so much trouble with his hands. So to say when you outweigh a guy by, 100 pounds, that you boxed and went the distance with the greatest boxer of all times, yeah, maybe the greatest defensive fighter of all times. This guy wasn't laying the wood to you. You weigh 100 more pounds than him, and you couldn't land a glove on him. So barely. So get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? But he thinks he's better than his brother. I don't believe this to be just hype for the fight, because they've gotten into it in the past, back when Jake and Logan probably never would have thought of doing something like this with one another. About who's the better boxer. I mean, this is a little bit of a sibling rivalry here. Makes it interesting. And with the young crowd involved, it might even get more ratings than the Tyson fight. Who knows? I mean, us old heads are going to tune in for Tyson. I imagine a lot of us old heads are not going to tune in. You got to remember something. A lot of these youngsters, it'd be like, our folks talking about Muhammad Ali, or our grandfather talking about Rocky Marciano. You know what I mean? Like, some of these kids, honestly, they really don't care about Tyson, and the only reason they'd even care about Tyson is because he's fighting Jake Paul. Those kids are going to tune in, along with a lot of other kids that probably wouldn't tune in, but probably not as big as a Tyson fight. I'm just saying it's going to be big, though. It'll still be big. It'll save the show, and what's
the weight difference between the two?
The two brothers? No. Well, they're going to have to fight at heavyweight because Jake's put on a lot of weight for this fight. Because Jake would meet these fighters. I bet you they're both about 6'2", and both walk around at about 210, 215, like naturally, without training to get bigger. And Jake's put on a lot of weight. People have actually called him fat. I don't see it. He's just well hydrated. He's got a lot of muscle.
Doesn't look like there's much fat on that body.
No, this is back. This is before. This isn't that recent of a photo. This has got to be a year old. He's put on weight to fight Tyson at heavyweight. So he's a little heavier. But he's been training this whole time. Here's the thing, like Logan
hasn't he been doing the pro wrestling stuff the whole time too?
That's Logan.
So
that's Logan. Logan, I imagine Jake's going to be bigger than Logan, but they're going to be fighting at heavyweight for sure. Yeah, Jake's the fake wrestler. Logan's the real boxer, and Logan's going to knock his brother out if this fight ain't a sham. And it might be a sham. They're brothers. This Logan Paul guy is accused of freaking all kinds of crypto fraud, all kinds of nonsense, involved in all kinds of shady shit.
Right.
Who knows, man? Who knows what these guys are freaking going to do?
Fortune favors the bold. Oops.
If they're not going to put on a real fight, who knows? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they put on a real fight, I don't think there's any way Logan can win. Jake Paul's dedicated his life to the craft of boxing the last 5 years, man. He's had the best coaches money can buy.
I'm very disappointed in you.
About what?
Because you were talking about crypto, and I dropped a commercial from the Super Bowl Matt Damon line that was
and they all got in
favors
trouble.
The bold. And who was that? Who was that? Was that FTX?
Yeah. They all got in trouble. I know.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Oh, I know, man. I know.
And
I just don't want to
Virgin Islands meth infested.
We didn't really want to take this show off the rails, did we?
When is this show not off the rails?
Yeah, you pretty much fucking just do it. So I just preempted you.
But T, you don't understand. This does not follow the script. Okay. All right. I interject some crazy crackpot wacko conspiracy theory that 6 weeks later turns out to be mainstream news. And Minnie tells me that I need to be quiet because we're taking this off the rails. He's not.
Lighten up, Francis.
He's flipping the script on me, man. It's
All right,
it's all
Poop.
good. It's all good, Playboy. That pretty much wraps it up, man. The brothers are going to fight. You know, that's pretty much everything I got in MMA. I'm sure I didn't take any notes. And the reason I didn't take any notes is because I got confused about the time. You realize I didn't think we came on there at 11 o'clock? I've been up this whole time since I got off work, 4 a.m. But I'm don't worry, I'm fired up. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not on mountain time no more, homeboy.
Yeah.
Arizona
we don't
switches.
spring forward. Yeah, so like I'm thinking like back when it was in the morning, the last time it was in the morning, right? The last time it was in the morning, that would be 11 o'clock. 1 o'clock would be 11 o'clock to me. No, that's 10 o'clock, homeboy. Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you now?
Wakey. I'm in my backyard.
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
Did you just go like Cholo on me? Your backyard?
Yeah.
Ah,
Because I'm in Phoenix. I'm in my backyard, man.
Backyard, man. All right. Just checking. I heard correctly. I was just.
I'm in my backyard, man.
Man. Okay. All right. Well, if you are done, that means T is up. And that means I get to go have a cigarette real quick. And he still has his beard.
Yeah, but
telling them, even
we're
if they
in-
lose, you don't have to shave it. No,
we're getting into danger territory.
No shaving
yeah.
the beards. No, I just got mine trimmed and I feel naked because it was fucking down to here and just. I mean, you know, if I were to change character and I don't know, look like I was on what was it? The TV series about the bikers. The hell was it?
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, with the bald head, the beard, and hop on a Harley. Like, yeah, I could pull that off, but I don't want to pull that off. I'm too old.
You gotta go to Hollywood, dude. You gotta go to Hollywood.
I don't want to go to
Make
Hollywood.
it happen. Go to Hollywood.
Worst idea ever. Yeah.
Tell them you want to be a biker in their next movie or next series.
I don't know who they is and what movie is. So,
you tell them you're willing to do what it takes, Minnie. Whatever it takes.
I'm not though. I don't want to sit on some couch with some dude with an egg-shaped penis who can't get hard unless he shoots fucking cocaine into his dick. Hangs out with the most prominent Democratic leaders in this country from that party, and good.
You don't want to end up in a back room in Diddy's house somewhere.
Yeah, getting pummeled because no, just good, just right here with you boys.
Dog pile on Minnie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Emotional damage.
All right, I'll be right back. T, the floor is yours. Don't burn the house down, all right?
All right.
Hockey time.
All right, yeah. So right now, we got playoffs going on in the in hockey. I guess since Minnie already brought up my beard, I'll start out with the AHL. The Milwaukee Admirals, they did come out and they won in 5. So my beard is still around, but now we're in the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals going on. Milwaukee is playing Coachella Valley, who they lost to last year in the Western Conference Finals as well.
What's the name of the team?
The Milwaukee Admirals are a team I follow, and then they're playing against the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Where are they from?
California.
They play in Palm Desert.
Oh, okay.
And they used to be the Bakersfield Condors. They moved to Coachella Valley last year. The Admirals lost to them in the Western Conference Finals last year, and now they are down 2-0 after the first 2 games of the Western Conference Finals have happened. Coachella won game 1, 1-0, and then they won game 2, 3-1. So
wow.
I'm in the danger zone again, but Milwaukee did in their opening series of the playoffs lose both of the first games to the Texas Stars and then swept the rest of the games in that series. And they did lose the first game to Grand Rapids. So the whole playoffs, Milwaukee's been starting off slow and getting hotter later into the series. So hopefully they can keep things going. I'm at least hoping, next weekend, Saturday, if Milwaukee doesn't get swept, they'll have a game in Milwaukee. Their other games are during the week. So I'm hoping if I got some extra cash, maybe we can go catch a playoff hockey game. That'd be fun. And then on the other side of the bracket, you've got the defending champion Hershey Bears are up 2-0 on the Cleveland Monsters. Both of these games in the Eastern Conference Finals have gone to overtime. So it's been a very evenly matched series, but you got a situation right now where if both Hershey and Coachella Valley make it through, you got a rematch of last year's Calder Cup finals, which Hershey ended up winning. Hershey's the minor league team for the Washington Capitals, and then Cleveland Monsters are the minor league team for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So it looks like, with the finals that have been the last 2 years, Nashville, Seattle, Columbus, and Washington all have some good talent coming up through their minor league system. Moving over to the NHL, last night the Florida Panthers capped off the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers. So streaks of teams having the best team in the regular season not winning the Stanley Cup continues. The Rangers are out, which I have no sorrow for New York right now, at least not with recent news that's been going on off the ice. It's nothing really so much against the Rangers as it is about, corrupt judges and shit that I'm a little happy about the Rangers being eliminated. The Florida Panthers were in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. They lost to the Vegas Golden Knights, who are already out of the playoffs. So we will have a new Stanley Cup champion this year, but Florida gets their second chance at winning their first Stanley Cup. Actually, this will be their third time in the finals. They did lose a cup to Colorado back in the day, too. But then on the other side of the bracket, you've got the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars playing Game 6 at 8 o'clock tonight. You can catch that game on TNT or True TV. I think they're on both channels tonight. Edmonton is trying to break Canada's streak of not winning a cup since 1993. So the Edmonton Oilers can close out the Stars tonight. They're up 3-2. Pook, you're raising your hand. You got a question?
Nah, bro, I'm stretching. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay. I
didn't know if you were
being like a kid in class. Like, you can just
no. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was just stretching. I just stretching
No, it's all good,
arms,
bro.
Man. Sorry, man.
I would have thought he was going to the bathroom.
Yeah, Edmonton.
And my pants pops?
Well, getting up to go to the bathroom. How's that?
Oh.
Connor McDavid, when he came into the league, he was supposed to be the next big thing. They were comparing him to all kinds of people. He hasn't been able to bring a cup to Edmonton yet, but maybe this is the year. Him and Leon Draisaitl, they're usually right at the top of the league in scoring because they work together. So you got goals and assists just feeding off of each other.
You said 30 years, right? Because back when I was a kid, the Montreal Canadiens were just rattling off champions.
Yeah, and the last one they won was in '93. So yeah, and Canada has not won a cup since then. I believe the last time a Canadian. Well, actually no, because the Montreal Canadiens were in the Stanley Cup final during the COVID bubble year, which was a weird playoff setup. Any other year, they wouldn't have even made the playoffs, and they just rattled off wins to make it to the finals that year. But they still lost. But the last full season that I remember that a Canadian team was in the finals, I think was the Canucks. And then that year that they lost in the finals, and then they had the riots up in Vancouver, which and the only reason that sticks in my mind is because when all the riots were going on here in the States, everybody was like, oh, all these white people that rioted in Vancouver after the Stanley Cup, so it's okay for BLM to be burning down cities. It's like that. It wasn't right either way. But yeah, I remember the Vancouver riots after the last time that the Canadian team lost in the.
You think
finals.
George Soros was behind the Vancouver riots as well?
Here we go.
No, I think it was just pissed off fans.
All right, just ask.
Which usually sports riots, you get stuff like that after you won a championship, but I guess I can see people being more amped up after losing in 7 games.
Well, the thing is, normally when white people riot, George Soros is involved somehow. So that's why I was asking that question.
Yeah, but those guys wear masks. Those guys wear masks in their like ninja outfits and stuff.
Ninja outfit.
And there wasn't any
outfits.
Yeah, they got like pallets of bricks that they ship in beforehand to be ready.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't put it past George Soros to stage a protest in there.
Maybe spray some kerosene on a few buildings.
Maybe.
I don't know. Possibly. Man, we got sidetracked. We got sidetracked again.
Yeah. Allegedly. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so that's what's going on in the world of hockey right now.
Squirrel.
Oh man.
I think though you're right. I mean, even in just, I think we shouldn't be maybe speculating on things like that because it might make it sound as if there's no validity to the actual facts that George Soros is connected to the BLM protests. So maybe that was silly of me to make that joke because maybe George Soros is not involved in every protest, but most of them.
How dare you be so irresponsible?
I know. I don't want to be irresponsible. I don't want to be doing nothing irresponsible. I want to throw no veteran off the wrong track, man. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
So yeah, with that, I guess I could hand it off to either Pops or Minnie, whoever's going to do their segment next.
Go ahead, Pops.
I'm playing peekaboo with James, so.
Oh, hey.
Anyway, what's going on now is they are at 92 of 100, so it's coming up pretty close. Right now, Scotty Dixon, imagine that, is leading. Marcus Armstrong, Erickson is third, Kirkwood fourth, Rossi is in fifth. Pat O'Ward, the Irishman from Mexico, is in sixth. Christian Lundgaard is seventh. Power is in eighth. Oh God. Rosenquist. I can't say it. It's one of those guys. Rosenquist, I guess. And then Ferrucci's in 10th. So AJ's got a chance to get in the 10th place finish. This is a race around Detroit. This is the first race that they're using the hybrid engines. So it's going to be somewhat weird. However, the first 4 cars are all Hondas, and there's only 2, 3 Chevys in the top 10. So that will be interesting to see exactly how they come out of that. Last night, Shane Van Gisbergen, the guy from Australia that is one of the big sports car drivers from there, came over. He was the one that won the Cup race in Chicago last year. And he came out on top again today, or last night, I should say, in his, I don't know, he's driving full-time for a colleague in relationship or in a partnership with Trackhouse Racing. So, I mean, this is a guy who's got zero experience in stock car racing, and already got a win in Cup Series at Chicago in the downtown race, and he comes out ahead again on today. So it was pretty neat to see that going on. The lineup for today's Cup race starts at 3:30. As Michael McDowell, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Wallace and Ty Gibbs, and Kyle Busch rounds out the top 10. So the big scuttlebutt going around Cup right now is that Kyle Larson, if you remember last week, was going to try and run the double. The race at Indianapolis got postponed 4 hours, no less. He was able to run the race at Indianapolis. When he got to Charlotte for that portion of the race was already underway, and it was basically a call. Well, they were in a rain delay, and they called the race, and so he wasn't able to run the race. Because he missed the race, he is not eligible for the playoffs, even though he is well qualified with 3 wins already. And NASCAR is taking their sweet time trying to figure out what they're going to do. Remember, they gave Case Briscoe a waiver, and then Elliott got a waiver, and Elliott was not injured in racing; he was injured in snowboarding. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see how NASCAR plays the favorites. I guess that's what they say. The truck race was earlier today, and Corey Hyde came out a winner again. Ekins is second, Sanchez third, Majeski's in fourth, and Lane Riggs came home in 5th place. Nothing really spectacular about the truck race. Whether the standings, I don't know. I can't tell you the standings because they don't come up. But Van Ginsberg, this is interesting that he's able to race full time in NASCAR in the Xfinity Series, and he's still going to race a couple times in the Cup Series. So he's doing quite well for himself in just his rookie year with NASCAR. I'm just excited to see Scott Dixon on top at the Detroit Grand Prix. That's pretty neat. He deserves some wins simply because of age. I guess that's the best way to explain it. He is ancient compared to most drivers.
Yeah.
Scotty has been around for years and years and years. I'm trying to pick up his age. Six championships. That's just freaking nuts. And he is sitting second in points right now, so this could move him up a notch. Come on, get over here and show me the info on him. They don't show it. They're hiding it. Huh.
They're not hiding it. You're just not looking in the right place.
Let's see.
Oh, they definitely hide stuff on the internet.
Oh,
Minnie, they definitely be hiding stuff on the internet.
I'm
That's for
sure
damn.
they do.
We know they do.
Especially the truth. They
they hide stuff on the internet.
Oh my God.
So I'm with Pops on this one. I'm down with you, Pops. They're hiding it on you.
Hey, I appreciate somebody backing me up here.
I got you. They're hiding it on you.
Oh, well. But anyway.
You should have saw me trying to find that fight this morning, Pops. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, something else.
Now, this is freaky when you think about the standings. Alex Palou, a teammate of Scott Dixon, is in first place. Then comes Scott Dixon. And it's not till third place that Will Power is in there as one of the Penske drivers. And you go all the way back to sixth place for Scott McLaughlin to get in there. And then Joseph Newgarden is in seventh place. So Chip Ganassi's got the top two spots, which is rather striking, I guess. That's what I said. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of it pans out. This is going to be interesting with the new engines. With they got the boost that they can get.
The push to pass, they brought that back.
We'll wait and see what the heck they do with it. This race should be over in a second. Let's see what it says. Come on, guys.
The boost, are you talking about that push for pass stuff that we were talking about a while ago with the IndyCar?
No, that is only on street courses and road courses. It's not on ovals. But they put hybrid engines in the IndyCars beginning with this race today, and so it basically charges, and then you can force a discharge, meaning giving you a boost, so that you actually get a bunch of juice from the battery. It's a system that overcomes the friction and makes the engine just run that much faster or run up that much faster. It's used on tight courses where you got to slow down a whole bunch and you got to speed up real fast. The electric engine, or excuse me, the electric motor. We got to get that straight. The combustion engine is an engine. The electricity motors are motors. So even though we all refer to them as motors, they are an engine. And so anyway, the motors just allow the engine to rev up a lot faster. And it eliminates them stalling on the course because they can always use the electric motor to get them started again.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we lost Pook. I don't know where you went.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know either. Hold on. About to lose me for a second.
Whose uniform you got? Oh, they got a Cubbies on today. All right.
Yeah.
I just saw the pinstripes and didn't see the logo.
So we wait for Pook or what?
I don't know. I think you got to go into baseball.
Alrighty.
Talk.
And now for something completely different.
We'll go ahead and hit right into. Let's see if I can find it. We'll just check it. We'll just gloss over the standings. Since Pook is gone, this is even better. The American League East, the New York Yankees are on top, 2 games above the Baltimore Orioles, a plus 105 run differential, 8-2 in their last 10. The Baltimore Orioles are on their heels, though. I mean, only 2 games back, and guess what? 8-2 in their last 10 as well. The Red Sox are going to be the Red Sox. I think the rest of the division is kind of like that. It's going to be a couple games above 500 or a couple games below 500 the rest of the year. The Cleveland Guardians are pulling away from the Kansas City Royals. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They got a 5-game lead over the Kansas City Royals. Twins 7 games back. Tigers 11, and we don't even want to talk about the White Sox because fuck the South Side.
They're historically bad this year.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Hey, wasn't there a community organizer working on the South Side a lot, and they end up in other politics?
Yeah, Barack, go fuck yourself, Obama.
Crack me up.
Yeah. And the NL or AL West, excuse me. Seattle Mariners. This is it's kind of a weak division. It's supposed to be gangster, and has turned out not to be so. Seattle Mariners hanging on by 4 games. They're 6-4 in the last 10. They're only 33-27. The next second place team is 2 games under 500 at 28-30. 4 games back. The Houston
That sounds
Astros.
like last year. Last year was terrible that way too.
Houston Astros, however, the big surprise this year is they're just shit. They're shit.
Garbage.
You could just rack them up for the ALCS every year. And
they're going back to their NL Central days.
Yeah, for real. Like they're 6.5 games back. Got a -6 run differential, 4-6 in the last 10. The Athletics, who are giving some people some fun, and there's a great story there. Despite the fact that they have fallen off the face of the earth, finally, is Mason Miller. There's a lot of talk about Mason Miller. And if I can find the clip, I'll show you a clip of Mason Miller. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Mike Trout's still there. He's actually hurt, so nobody really cares. Saddest thing in life is wasted talent, and that is fucking Mike Trout with the Angels, man. Anywhere else, that dude is just whatever. Anyway, so National League East.
Tim Salmon and Mike Trout confused, man.
Who?
Tim Salmon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was getting confused.
That's a really bad joke.
It's
a really bad joke.
It's the truth. It was a joke. It was a
joke because they both have fucking.
But listen. Why it wasn't? It was a feeble attempt at humor, but at the same time, I'm like, that dude must have been playing in the fucking league for 40 years, and then I realized, no, that's Tim Salmon. So yeah. So
I always get him confused with Billy the Big Mouth Baths.
Yeah.
See there? See, I ain't the only one, Vinny.
Fucking horrible. Anyways, the Fighting Phils, man, it was Atlanta's division to lose, and then they lose Strider right away. Then last week they lost Ronald Acuna Jr. to an ACL blowout.
Oh yeah.
So not good. Braves 4-6 in the last 10, 7.5 games behind the Fight Phils. Phils are just rolling. Got a +100 run differential, which I believe is it's second best in the league next to the Yankees. Fuck, I didn't mention them.
You love the Yankees.
Shut up.
Oh, you love them,
I hate everything about New York. Like the whole fucking thing.
He was all about Aaron Rodgers' hat last night.
Yeah.
Oh. He's wearing a New York hat?
Yeah, you didn't see Rodgers in the crowd with his Yankees
hat
on?
I didn't realize he was wearing a Yanks hat. I saw Rodgers in the crowd. I didn't know what baseball hat
he was sitting like 3 rows behind Trump, and then the whole crowd was chanting "fuck Joe Biden," and you could see Rodgers with his Yankees hat on, going like this, hiding his face. Fuck Joe Biden.
I love it. Yeah, the Braves are in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what they're gonna do. They lost their ace, their presumptive Cy Young Award winner this year, Spencer Strider, and Ronald Acuna Jr. goes down. And this is not a very deep franchise as far as like farm talent. So I don't know, Braves fans. It's
yeah, they were really strong this year, and they sure have lost it.
Maybe Ronald Acuna Jr. should be playing baseball 365 days a fucking year, but that's just me. Well, he plays winter ball, so he's always playing baseball. And I'm sorry, your guy who lives on his legs, those legs are going to wear out.
He ought to be in shape. He shouldn't get hurt.
Dude, knees are like heartbeats. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
And you use them up. Trust me, I am fucking proof positive of that. My knees are shit. All of a sudden, just fell apart. And I was waiting for it, and it finally happened.
Yeah.
Moving on, though. The rest of that division is terrible. I got a little story to talk about the New York Mets. Even if you're not a baseball fan, you might have heard about the Mets this week. Pitcher got ejected, then threw his glove into the stands and went off about this, that, and the Mets were like, "See the door? Bye-bye." They DFA'd his ass. So yeah, interesting. We'll probably talk about that later. In the Central, Man, this is getting depressing. Milwaukee Brewers up 6.5 games on my Chicago Cubs. They're 7-3 in the last 10. The Cubs are 2-8 in their last 10. The Cubs have a terrible bullpen, and they're not hitting.
Cubs have great starting pitching, and then their bullpen is not so good.
Atrocious. It's like fifth.
Somehow,
it's fifth,
fifth
in the league. Best starting rotation. 28th worst bullpen. Yeah. And the Brewers
going into game 3 of that series with the Brewers hadn't scored I don't think they even got a hit off of any of the Cubs starting pitcher. And then game 3 they rocked Imanaga.
They rocked showed, man. I texted Braden, I'm like, dude, it was a first inning. I text him. Or on X, Twitter, whatever. And I'm like, this doesn't look good. They're squaring them up and it's only the first inning. And he's like, well, we'll see. I'm like, no, they're going to fucking smoke them. And they did for like 7 runs. So, but hey, he went 9 starts with a 0.84 ERA. He was on 10 days rest, by the way. What the fuck was that? They're like, oh, well, his start got rained out. Oh, so you're going to just kick him another week? Good job, Craig Counsell. Or however much money we're paying you this fucking year. Like,
have fun with that guy.
He did not look. He did not look sharp. He looked rusty, and Imanaga has to control that fastball up the zone so that split works at the bottom of the zone. And he was just meatballing those suckers right down the middle of the plate. He threw a slider. Oh. He threw a slider at the top of his zone too. I can't remember who it was. Was it Dames maybe? It got murdered. This is bad. He's just trying everything because nothing's working. So I don't know. The Cubs, I mean, they're in it for the wild card ish right now. If they don't make moves soon, they're done. I mean, shit. The Cardinals were at the bottom of they're fucking creeping up 7 games back. The Pirates lower it. Kings, they're still suck. The Reds bringing up the rear 10 games back. Dodgers being Dodgers. Just a little difficulty lately. 6 of their last 10. They still got a 6-17 edge in a 5.5 game league over the San Diego Padres, who are a very surprising 3 games above 500. Basically on the backs of Darvish, who had like 26 scoreless innings, and Mr. Dylan Cease, they got in a trade from the Chicago White Sox in the offseason. The Giants, the Diamondbacks in the World Series last year, fucking 10 games back and not look good. And the Rockies are fucking laughable. Absolutely laughable. League leaders, important league leaders. As far as batting averages, Shohei Ohtani, direct profile of the San Diego Padres, William Contreras, the Brewers, Mookie Betts, and Juan Soto ended up the list at 316. Pitching leaders with wins, still Seth Lugo, Ranger Suarez, Chris Sale got rocked the other night. Thanks, Chris. So glad I started you on my fantasy team. Gave me a 14.4 ERA for that. Really helped my ERA. Home runs. Aaron Judge has jumped ahead since he got ejected. What was it? May 12th. He's 468. His on base percentage is like 485. His OPS is like 1600 right now.
And we always know how the segment's going to end. It's going to be Yankee talk. It's going to be Yankee talk. We always know how, I hate him so much. He's just telling you how great Aaron Judge is. Oh, my God. All right. I hate him so much. They're so bad.
I'm just speaking facts. Speaking truth to the matter. He leads the league with 21 home runs and probably the best OPS in baseball right now. Kyle Tucker, my dude, love Tucker, 19 home runs. Gunnar Henderson, the catcher for the Baltimore Orioles, young, very 2015, 2016 esque Chicago Cubs. That's what it remind me of. Ton of young talent on the team. Marcell Ozuna, I watched hit a fucking blast 2-run home run while the bride was walking down the aisle at the wedding I was at. Yeah, I was watching baseball. I fucking don't care. Jose Ramirez, 16. Let's see. And then I don't really put too much in there. Hits, big surprise. Luis Arraez with 83. Strikeouts. Tyler Glasnow still up top at 95 for the Dodgers. Dylan Cease down with the Padres, 87. Emmanuel Clace, Cleveland. Ryan Hesley of St. Louis, believe it or not, 18. Robert Suarez, 17. Clay Holmes, Yankees, 16. Kyle Finnegan with 15. All right, so I gotta find this real quick. We gotta talk to this gentleman here in a minute if I can find it. Where is it? No, not that guy. Oh, this guy.
Are you picking on that poor man again?
Who is that guy? Anybody know who that guy is?
On that poor guy.
I think
stop picking on that poor guy, dude.
I think he just got a job with Boeing inspecting their planes.
Oh!
Quit picking on our guy Angel, dude. Quit picking on him,
Oh man, I can't believe you said that, D.
Angel Hernandez.
It's only appropriate, though. I will say that.
Angel Hernandez. He's retiring. Longtime umpire Angel Hernandez, who unsuccessfully at one point sued Major League Baseball for racial discrimination, is retiring immediately. During a career that lasted more than 3 decades, the 60-year-old Hernandez was also scorned by players, managers, and fans for missed calls and quick ejections, some in high-profile situations. How many people want to bet that MLB just cut that dude a check? Like, dude, you just got to go. Son.
You got to go away.
You got to go away. We can't deal with this anymore, dude.
I think they would have cut him a check a lot earlier than because he was aggravating the anybody that watched baseball.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is you get a reputation, and then all of a sudden that's all there is to it. And I'm not defending Angel at all, but I encourage you to check out Baseball Doesn't Exist latest video, and it deals directly with Angel Hernandez. And to sum it up for you briefly, he's like, well, Angel Hernandez is bad, but he's not the worst. And I'm like, well, fucking okay. Like, that doesn't
depends on how you define worst. I guess that's the way.
Well, statistically, Pops, and he is not statistically the worst. He is in the bottom 20% of umpires. Yeah. So that also means there's other guys behind him that are worse that nobody knows who their name. Well, that's not true. If you start if I were to pull up a list of active umpires, the ones I recognize are the shitty ones. Because you never think about
but
here's a question.
You think of Angel Hernandez first because not only is he wrong, but then he's incredulous when he's wrong and he throws guys out because he was the one that was wrong.
Yeah. Here's a funny story about Angel. Okay, this is crazy. And this is one of the problems that people have, and this is why robo-umps are coming, right? Eventually, like, unfortunately. Everybody knows Will Clark, right? Hall of Famer, first baseman, San Francisco Giants, right? Will Clark. Come on.
Will the thrill.
All right. He's in a game. Angel is behind the plate, and Will takes what he considers to be a ball outside. It was. And he goes, okay. And he just, you're really never supposed to look back at him. You can get away a lot, but just looking down at the plate and saying what you want to say. And he looked down and said, all right, Angel, as far as you can go out. And he goes, yep. And he goes, okay. Next pitch is the slider, even further outside. Strike. He's Angel. What the fuck? You said he couldn't go any further out than that. He goes, yeah, ball moved on me. Well, yeah, they do that.
Yeah, that's what a slider does. It moves.
So anyways, they go out to the game is over. Everybody goes to the wins, and Will and a couple of other guys end up at the bar with the umpires. And so Will pays Angel's tab he comes up to him and he says, "Hey, I got your tab." And he says, "That's all you got to say to me?" And he goes, "Yeah, man. I'm just gonna buy your guys beers for tonight, and have a good night. See you tomorrow at the yard." Walks away. And Will Clark says, "Fucking wouldn't you know it? Every single game I played after that, well, Angel Hernandez was behind the plate. My strike zone went from this to fucking this."
That's all.
It was like, did you maybe make the Hall of Fame? As well, Angel didn't up me enough, but it didn't fucking hurt. So I mean, that's pretty funny. However, we're gonna watch.
Damn, how old is this Angel Hernandez, man? How long has he been
62 years old. 62 years old. So about time to retire anyway.
This wasn't a game in New York. He might end up in court now. I mean,
right?
That
Yeah,
sounds like
I know, right?
That sounds like a not payment for non-disclosure there.
Falsifying baseball records. Yeah. That's what you're thinking. All right. Here, I didn't want. There's a lot of these videos out there of worse Angel Hernandez calls. A lot of them are narrated and they're fucking 20 minutes long. This was not very long. I shouldn't get dinged for it. But this is just last year, Angel Hernandez, how bad he was.
The home run, and on top of it, the hardest hit ball.
Whoa.
Big league career. Now he's finding out about Angel Hernandez's strikes.
That was out there for a bit.
Close.
Oh my God.
That pitch called a strike. Wow.
What?
That's some loud contact.
Whoa. Whoa.
Goodness.
Even the pitcher was like, seriously? What the fuck? I would have lost my mind.
2-1 Braves third inning. Tyro Estrada.
That's
wow.
3 balls
that
off the
is
plate.
A wide strike zone.
3 balls off the plate.
Long days, I feel
Dude,
like
that's on my ankles. I can't hit balls on my ankles.
That bitch didn't make a rooster tail on the dirt.
Wow.
That's not even close.
Got a Happy Gilmore in.
Again, this is you cannot miss this bad.
Number 8 hitter with speed.
This is.
Was that a strike?
Oh my gosh.
Up Freely. So he's retired him twice. First time against this righty.
Oh, that was the ball, even though it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
That's strike 3, folks.
Yep.
That was a strike, Bob.
And that one is. And
I'm
that
saying he
one
didn't
is
call
not
it a
called a
strike.
strike.
Oh, I know.
Trying to hold up his swing. Man.
The full count.
Now you can feel the pain in the announcers, right? They got to be professional. They
that
can't
had every
go
bit of the plate, but
that hard. But holy
Every bit
shit,
of the plate.
some of those guys were just. Some of those calls were just. Woo, dude.
Well, you could tell which guys bought him beers at the bar.
Apparently, and which ones didn't. Which it shouldn't be a thing. I mean, I don't know. Like there was a guy that a former friend of mine, we played semi-pro together with. There was an ump that I used to torture on a regular fucking basis. And if I made him laugh while I was torturing him, I was good. If I didn't, I was fucked. Like when I gave him his Lens Crafters coupon. Like that didn't go over so well. But then, I brought him some Gatorade one time in a cooler and put it behind the right by the backstop. I'm like, dude, that's yours because it's fucking hot as fuck today, man. And what's gonna be today, Blue? He goes, nose to toes, east to west, swing, son. I'm like, damn it, man, really? Does that count if I go up and pitch? He goes, nah. Fuck. I really don't like you. I really don't like you at all. But no, he was actually very generous to me when I had to go up and pitch. So this happened the other day. Jorge Lopez, a reliever for the New York Metropolitans, was DFA'd after getting ejected and having some would say a pretty bad post-game conference where I've dove into this and it's not a lot of people look. English is not his first language for one. Yeah. 2, he did say, from what I got when I listened to audio, he said, I the whole thing was that New York is the worst team in Major League Baseball. What he said was, I'm the worst teammate and on the worst team. So I don't know if that's really. However, you dive deeper into this. Last year, he got leave from Major League Baseball for mental health issue. Anybody want to guess what the mental health issue was? He's got a son.
Borderline personality disorder.
No, he has a son who's terminally ill, awaiting a. I guess I don't know if he's terminally ill, but he's ill, awaiting a transplant.
Okay.
I think that
Dad's under a
qualifies
lot
as
of stress. Dad's under a lot of stress.
Okay.
And high profile on a team that's not good, not a good vibe in the clubhouse. And a bad outing, shitty actions by, I believe, in my opinion, the umpires. I think the dude just snapped a little bit. And people are like, well, all that's not an excuse. Fuck you. Yeah, it is, actually. Unless you've been through that or you have kids and you're horribly worried about them. One of them is fighting for its life. You're fighting for your job. You get a shitty outing because your whole life, your money is what you do. And all of a sudden you sucked at your job so bad one night, you get run.
Yeah.
And you just explode. Okay.
I'll go
and you know what? Way. Somebody's going to pick them up. I hope they do. And I hope they provide them. I hope they provide them with like, hey, we're going to get you in here. We're taking you. We're going to give you some money. We're also going to put you in therapy. You're going to do this if you want to play for us, but we got your back. And if a team does that for him, watch the fuck out. This dude is going to be unhittable. Like, hey, we're going to take care of your fucking kids' bills. We're going to take care of all that. All you got to do is strike people out and help us win baseball games. Can you do that for me? Yep. And that dude is going to go off, guaranteed going off, because now everything's off his chest. Well, not everything. Son's still got to wait for that transplant and whatnot, but a lot of his breathe hard. All right, now I'm going to go get some. These people got my back. I'm got them. And New York is a fuck. The Mets are. I mean, come on. When's the last time they've been? Yeah, they had won 102 games the other year, but does anybody raise your hands? You think the Mets are a perennial threat in baseball? No, they're not. They're a dysfunctional ass franchise with a guy who spends money like that dude in Washington did without abandon. It doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah, give that guy a bunch of money. No, don't give that guy a bunch of money. He's 36 years old on the downslide. Don't give it. What are you doing, you idiot? Just because you have money doesn't mean you have to spend it foolishly. And Steve Cohen does that. Spends his money foolishly. And to add to the story about this, last year, remember that they let Max Scherzer go, right? And they let Justin Verlander go and Max Scherzer said from the GM said, hey, this team isn't going to be competitive this year, probably now or next year. So do you want to bounce? And he's like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here. So, and you're in a team that isn't trying to win, and you're trying to win on top of the shit with his kid. I mean, that's just, a trifecta for somebody to explode. Like, I'm amazed he made it this fucking long. So hopefully somebody picks him up, man.
Minnie, I've been wanting to say this for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realize you had to do your rant. I get it. I'm on the other side of this, and the only reason I'm on the other side of this is because you can't feed the monkeys, Ryan Leaf. You can't feed the trolls, man. You can't give the trolls what they want. And the fact that they ran with it and left half of the quote out is just like par for the course with these sports writers and just writers in general, man. You know what I mean?
You can't. Nobody does the corrections anymore. It's just put the most crazy thing out and get everybody to click on it so you get that ad revenue. When it turns out that a lot of what he said was completely taken out of context and misinterpreted.
Not only that,
it wasn't
being honest is completely true.
Yeah. So
You know, that's the way he felt after that outing. I'm the worst player on the worst team.
yeah.
Well, shit. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I don't know why they're making such a big deal out of it, but that being said, that's why Barry Bonds didn't talk to those assholes.
Right.
That's why Skittles copped an attitude with those people all the time. You know, and why freaking Allen Iverson would take his kid to sit on his lap when he was getting talked to by him, because they're piranhas, man.
Yeah, they're all
They
trying
are
to get
piranhas, man.
get the scoop, get something that they all want a gotcha moment. They all
Nitty
do.
gritty, yeah.
There's so
Dog-eat
very
dog,
few
man.
actual sports journalists who just want to get the story, and most of them just want to get a gotcha moment, you know. And they dive when you have an error in a game that costs the game. They want to dive into that. And what'd you think about that? And just, is there trouble in the team? And is there a bad locker room environment? And it's like, fucking Jesus, man. Like everybody's got a job, and some of them are assholes, and most of them are sports journalists. But I don't know. I mean, this is not a new thing. If you
I know.
You go back and watch 61, the movie about Roger Maris. Go watch what they did to him and Mickey Mantle during that season. It's fucking horrible. Like, these are people who go home and sleep at night and come up with all kinds of horrible shit to say about Roger Maris. Motherfucker was losing hair. You know, the only time I lost hair by clumps was when I was married to my first wife. It just came out of clumps in the shower. I'm like, what's going on? I was too young to know. Because you're so stressed out. It's just your hair is just ejecting from your body, preparing yourself for Valhalla or something. I don't know, but
oh shit,
it was bad. Yeah, she was special, Pook. Well, you met her, you knew her.
She seemed okay with me.
Don't go any further. I will fucking fly there.
She seemed okay. That's all I said.
Seemed
like a nice lady.
Yeah, nice lady. Yeah.
Hey, when she was on her drugs, she was perfect.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah. When she was,
I might have caught her when she was on her drugs.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh man. All right. Anybody ask me any questions about baseball?
So yeah, here's a where do you stand? Before the Brewers Cubs game 1 of this series they just had in Milwaukee, somebody in the video booth in Milwaukee thought it was a great idea to have a Craig Counsell tribute video playing in Milwaukee before the game. Where do you stand on having a player that played for years for your team and a coach for your team, and now they're on your arch rivals team, playing a tribute to the arch rival manager before a game?
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
No,
to me, no.
I'm here. But are you guys high? And of course, everybody booed. Oh, why did everybody boo during the Craig Counsell tribute video? What do you think? I mean, half the crowd's Cubs fans too, so the Cubs fans are trying to cheer.
Oh yeah, Milwaukee fans. Chicago.
Milwaukee
North.
fans are just like, no.
Were they just playing to the crowd?
I don't know,
yeah,
man.
just to the crowd. It wasn't on TV.
Oh,
because like they call it Wrigley North because Cubs fans travel very, very well to Milwaukee and represent, even when the team's even not that good, which it is right now. It's not that good. I don't right now. Look, I'm gonna do All-Star break predictions. Like, I'm gonna revisit my preseason predictions. I'm gonna revisit and change some of them probably, but I don't know. They've got a month and a half before the All-Star break, right? Ish. If the Cubs don't pick it up, man, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And here's the thing that has been in my head. It's kind of indicative. If you look at the standings that I went over earlier, there's a lot of teams in Major League Baseball that are at just above or just below 500. Like a lot, the vast majority of like teams you think would be competitive, like the Red Sox, the Cubs, St. Louis, whatnot. And I think it's because there is a push to be with the expansion of the playoffs. If we can get in, we can make that TV money, get that playoff money, and maybe we get lucky. Or we wait to the All-Star break to the last minute to see, all right, are we really 1 or 2 players away from going to the show, to the World Series? Is that what it's going to take? Because if we are and we can get those guys, great. But if we can't get those guys, fuck it. Let's just collect our dollars. We'll see what comes up in the draft, see how our prospects develop. And it's kind of turned into, again, have and have nots in baseball. Like the Brewers are very surprising this year. I'll give you that with their offense, a team typically built on speed and pitching, they're hitting like crazy.
Their starting pitching isn't that great this year.
The Yankees pitching isn't that great, but that's about it. And Woodruff, or is it Woodruff still?
He's out for the. He had that shoulder surgery at the beginning of the year.
But I mean, you look.
And Devin Williams broke his back at the beginning.
But look at this again. Like the Yankees are up 2 games on the Orioles. That's probably the most competitive division right now. Because you go to the Guardians, the Central, they're 5 games up. Everybody else is. The Royals are 10 games above 500. They are playing good ball, but Twins are just above 500. Tigers are right there. White Sox are just never mind. The Rangers are 2 games below 500. The Braves are, hanging in there, but the Nationals not. The Cubs 1 game below 500, 2-8 in their last 10. That doesn't help. But the Cardinals are right there. They're only 2 games below 500. The Pirates only 4 games below 500. The Padres are 3 games up. The Giants are 1 game down. So what I think is people are starting to build rosters to hit the middle of the pack, wait for the trade deadline, and then go. Because
I heard Houston's looking for a new trash can.
I was going to ask.
I bet they are looking for a new trash can because they are terrible right now.
I was going to ask you a joke of a question, but I changed my mind. I got a serious question to ask you. What is going on with middle relief pitching throughout the whole freaking MLB?
Well, what do you mean? I mean,
I'm saying.
Can you point to an example or
I could point. Sure, the Cubs, the Pirates. These teams, a lot of these teams are just below 500. If they had just a little bit of help, it seems like.
Well, that's all right. I'll tell you right away. That's why, like Mason Miller is the talk of the town. The guy's pitched like technically 2 no-hitter, 2.5 no-hitters plus in a row as a closer. He strikes out like 75% of the guys he faces. And he just added a new pitch, by the way. So now he throws a fastball, slider, and a splinker.
Oh, what?
It's a splinker. I know. It's a split finger changeup, basically.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that like a split finger sinker?
Yeah. It's.
Houston's offenses went to hell as well, but their middle relief sucks. I mean, they're another team. I mean, a lot of these teams. I'm not a baseball expert. I don't have the stats in front of me, Minnie. I only know what I'm watching.
That's what I'm getting at about Mason Miller. He has become and I hope he starts for the AL in the All-Star game. But he is so dominant that everybody is looking at him to solidify that bullpen. Any bullpen.
Those are all empties? No. Oh.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
You think the Cubs are going to make moves after the All-Star break to get some pitching in the middle?
Somebody's going to go after Mason Miller.
Middle innings?
Everybody's going after
Miller. No, but you think the Cubs are going to get some help?
I don't know. I know everybody's going to make a run at Mason Miller, and with all the hype, the price is going to be very, very high. So there's only a few teams.
Would it be smart for the Cubs to pay that high price, in your opinion? If you're the
they have the deepest farm system in MLB. If you go and look it up, we have the deepest. We now have, because Baltimore called up a bunch of their studs. We have the deepest farm system in baseball. So yeah, there's some people we could get rid of to get him, and the thing about a guy like that is he anchors, right? He anchors. He's got the ninth no matter what, which makes everybody else not only like, oh, I can take a breath for a second, I also feel obligated to pitch even better because I don't want to be the guy that doesn't allow this 6 foot fucking 8 monster, or 6'5" monster, who's type 1 diabetic, by the way. Weird. I don't want to make him angry. So it makes the whole bullpen better. It establishes the roles. The Cubs are in there for sure. The Baltimore Orioles are in there for sure. The New York Yankees are in there for sure. And that's all about the teams I can really think that would make a run. But Oakland's going to ask a lot for him. A lot. And if he starts the All-Star game, it's going to be even fucking worse. So I don't know if it's going to be worth the price. But the Cubs do have to do something because middle relief for them is absolutely fucking atrocious. I mean, we fired our closer like 2 weeks in the season. Our number 2 guy, Hector Neris, is kind of he got it done sort of kind of last night. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see, man.
This is my other question. When we were speaking before, right, and you told that story about the 61, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have told any story about any athletes, right?
Oh, fucking here we go.
No, you could. Any athletes, right? And throughout the history of sports, in our time, how many players have been hassled by the media? Sammy Sosa, definitely. I mean, there's a ton of them. And you pick, what, Yankees? It always comes back to the Yankees. No matter what, it all circles back around to the Yankees. And then I noticed how you slipped the Yankees in there as, oh, they're going to be going for Miller as well, you know? And we didn't even know one was talking about the Yankees. This is the Yankees get in there.
Oh, God.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Know your fucking place. Trash.
Can't help yourself, can't you?
Hey, everyone saw it, Minnie. I just pointed that out. I'm just saying what other people are thinking right now, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, brother.
Just calling him like he sees him.
Just call him like I see him, Playboy.
All
Kind of
right.
like my rant at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Any other baseball questions? Pops, T, Pook, anything?
Is my guy still leading in stolen bases?
Actually, Ellie De La Cruz, I believe, still is. Very cool news this week. Can't believe I fucking forgot about it. So Major League Baseball is including and merging Negro League statistics with their statistics.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
Baseball Reference is going to change quite a bit. Quite a bit. So get ready for that. That's awesome. And I will be there about 25 days from now. I will be at the Negro Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going
Where is
to.
that? Is that in Kansas or where is that?
It's at Kauffman Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah, Kansas City, right? Yep.
Yeah, and then I'm going to St. Louis, the den of evil. Yeah, I know. Where am I?
They're not involved this year. They're just
no, they're riding the Cubs' heels, and I'm wearing my Cubs jersey.
Yeah.
And your Yankees ball cap.
Hey, don't forget you're in St. Louis. That's not a town you want to mess with.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Know your fucking place. Trash.
I'll be all right.
All right.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
Yeah, I got shit to do, so
I got shit to do too. All right. Then
Hey, I will tell you this.
What?
I'm not going to bet you this year that the.
You want to bet me something? You going to bet? What do you want to bet me on, Pops? What?
I'm not going to bet you this year.
Oh.
I'll bet you they're going to get under 500. How's that?
Bet? Did someone say bet?
Yeah, Pook heard bet.
I
heard
my
bet.
I got
Pops,
my bet.
What do you
Conor
want to bet?
McGregor. This is what I'm going to do so you don't know I'm full of shit. I'm going to buy a bottle of the top shelf Jameson. I'm going to buy a bottle of that. What is it?
Woodford.
Buffalo Trace. Oh, I thought you
Buffalo
said
Trace.
Trace.
So
Yeah,
I'm going to
excuse
buy
me.
I'm going to have both bottles with me for
Mm.
next week's show,
Woodford Reserve.
and I'm going to hold them up. And
Mm.
and if Connor wins, I mail them out. But I'm pretty much sure these are my liquor bottles.
Okay.
They're going to be. I'm going to hold them up, so you know I ain't full of shit. I'll be like,
That's why they have the fight. So
man. I'll
Otherwise,
have so much.
computers
I
could
got
just do it.
next week I got some training footage of Connor, so we'll be looking at some training footage, actual training footage of Conor McGregor next week. So we'll be actually looking.
I'm telling you right now,
that
that dude's gonna win. He's gonna win big, and then it's over. He's gonna nope, I'm done. Watch.
Did Ryan Garcia prove that you can train with cocaine and alcohol and be a winner in the end?
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, but we'll see.
Out my boy. Oh,
hey, I
Johnny
got you.
boy.
I got your whiskey. I'll buy it.
The pipes are cold.
Are you going to my kid's graduation?
Where's your kid's graduation?
I believe it's the 9th of August.
Where is it at?
San Diego.
From boot camp?
Yeah.
Go.
Well, fuck, Pook. Baby.
Yeah, that's the first I'm hearing of this.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah,
he shipped out 2 weeks ago.
Dick.
My bad.
And unfortunately, I'm going to the Philippines in August, so I probably won't be able to make it. Sorry.
It's hot over there.
You can stop off on the way there.
I'll try and figure it out.
If you figure it out, I'll have your whiskey waiting for you.
All right. I'll now the wife's gonna be super happy because fuck.
Sorry,
because there's no way I can't not make another trip. I have an excuse to go back to my home, back to MCRE San Diego. Like I got to make that happen. So
in my defense here with this nonsense,
you're
I just found out. No, I just found out when he shipped out, man. I know he's gonna ship out.
I hope he spends his boot camp, well, and he's just,
Take a closer look at that snout.
Ah! That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. Ah! Bullshit. You didn't convince me. Let me see your real war face. Ah!
That's him in boot camp to his drill instructor every time.
He's gonna do okay.
Everybody does okay.
I mean, boot camp sucks, but he's gonna do fine.
Boot camp sucks. Doesn't it scare you, the guys? You ever talk to the guys? They're like, I fucking love boot camp, but super motivated. I'm like, you need to get the fuck away from me because you have serious mental health issues that I don't even want to dive into. Boot camp was not fun. It's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fucking shitty. And you liked it?
Some of the shit was fun, even when they
Some of it was fun.
Even though when they tried to make it not fun, it was still fun.
But most of it was just fucking horrible.
Pugil sticks, boxing.
That was fun.
Rifle range.
I got dad knows.
range.
I got a phone call from boxing. We were doing that, that little square. That little,
one back, two backs.
Yeah. And my senior drill instructor was like, you make it bleed, you get a phone call. I'm like, done.
Nice.
Busted his fucking nose. Little Filipino guy. Poor motherfucker was like 4 inches shorter than me. I'm like, this dude doesn't stand a chance. Like, he took a couple swings, like, dotted, and then and nose just exploded. He hits the ground. My senior George was like, fucking A, go to the phones. I'm like, yeah. Totally unfair fight, by the way. Like, totally. I got long arms to begin with. And he was 4 inches shorter than me. Like, so not fair, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, final thoughts. We got to get out of here, gentlemen. I need a cigarette. Pops is actually upstairs because he's going to move into one of my relatives' places before we close in on our house. Where the fuck that happens.
Exactly.
So,
because I don't have a house anymore.
Yeah, you got out of the house. So, T was first in. So, go ahead. Final thoughts, bro.
Well, like I said, June is a weird month to me. If you got questions about it, watch the beginning of the show. Other than that, take care, guys. I got shit to do, so I'm going to keep it short. Sorry I missed everybody last week. My daughter is fine. I had to take her to the hospital so I wasn't on the bar sports church last week, which I was looking forward to doing.
I know. We had fun. We had fun, man. We had fun.
But yeah, she's got an almond allergy apparently. So fun time finding that out.
Well, at least you found it out and you were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, well, good thing I'm finding out now before I open my first beer. So
no, you know, she's in college and drinking and fucking dips into the party mix and eats a bunch of almonds and is drunk.
Oh, yeah, I bet
you're not there, you know.
Yeah, I meant the fact that I hadn't started drinking before the bar started. That I could actually drive her out to the hospital. It was raining like crazy. It was bad driving out there.
All right, Bubba, is that all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Pook. Final thoughts.
Well, I know the real killer of Nicole Simpson and Goldman. It was actually a serial killer. His name is Glenn Rogers. You can do your own research on this, but I'm pretty sure it was Glenn Rogers was the culprit. That being said, moving on here, this is very serious. On a serious note, I want to talk to you veterans out there. We know how dirty the politics are right now. We know how bad they are. If anyone's trying to talk you into committing any violent acts on anyone for any reason, they're probably a Fed. They're probably a Fed.
For sure.
Or they're probably a cooperating witness for the Feds. So, you know, and if you're in a militia and you think your militia's cool and everything, there's probably Feds in your militia.
Mm-hmm.
So, mean, don't do no violence. Please, there's going to be...
Here's
go
the
ahead,
nasty Pook. You can say, hey, are you a Fed? And they can say no, even if they are.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. They, you know, we know what they did with the Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot. You know, we know what they did there. We know what they did with January 6th. It's freaking grandmothers from Iowa waving American flags that got hauled into freaking jail.
Buffalo guy is my favorite though.
So nonsense. Yeah, that guy didn't deserve to go to jail. He was put on a leaded tour by the cops, and then he dispersed a bunch of people after he said a prayer. How does that guy end up in jail? That's so ridiculous. But anyway. Let's not talk about that so much as here in the future. Don't do anything. Minnie all talks about self-harm. Don't do nothing to harm yourself. Hey, don't do nothing to harm anyone else. You know, now is definitely not the time. You're playing right into the hands of your enemy if you do that. Right now, we need to stuff the ballot boxes.
Yeah,
that's how we got to do it.
Let the left do their craziness and
well, they got reckless abandonment. They can burn down cities and not charges.
They really suck at it though. To be honest with you, you know, like if we were to do that shit, it'd be like. We know how to take down buildings and
doing it with the Feds. You're probably doing it with the Feds if you.
No, and I agree with you, Pook. I'm like, there's gonna be
there'd be like me, you, and Pops, and like 8 Feds, or 6 cooperating witnesses and 3 Feds, whatever.
Jesus Christ,
same.
You know, they put on a movie called Civil War.
They want it. They're baiting everyone. But
it won't be what everybody thinks if it were to happen. I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is all clickbait. I think this is all pressure. I don't think this is a thing. But if it were to happen, it would be more like the troubles in Ireland, more like the Leeds in Italy. It will not be, armies aren't standing off, our Apaches aren't storming the fucking capital. The fuck out of here. It's going to be like the troubles in Northern Ireland. Yeah. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be random bombings, random acts of violence, random assassinations, tit for tat shit. And I hope and I pray, like Pook does, that our side, the center to the right, especially veterans, look, you stay the fuck out of it. Let them fucking do their thing. Unless they come at you, stay out of it. They come at you, then it's on.
Total inside job. They want civil unrest so they can install martial law and they can get their way with their central bank digital currency and everything else. So
maybe
we'll see what's coming up.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, how much of this stuff in 2016 did you think I was talking about that was so ridiculous and it just became headline news?
Yeah, I know. I never been through anything like COVID before.
Well, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, but anyways, remember, never take a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Been there, done that. Got the members only jacket. Had a mouthful, a barrel, and a toe full of trigger at one point, and got a text from a very good friend of mine who was an Army medic who served a couple tours in Iraq. Sent me the most fucked up dark meme, made me laugh, threw my AK down, failed on my trigger discipline, shot around through the bottom of my apartment, out the garage door, didn't see the cats for 2 weeks. It was awesome, but still here, still standing. I know it's hard to reach out for help, but it's really not. You just got to do it. Just pull the trigger. Just pull the trigger. Ask for somebody. Go to. There's Bell in Distress. There's all kinds of veteran groups out there on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever. Say, hey, I want to talk to somebody. Doesn't have to say what, and somebody's going to jump on that and be there for you. So without further ado, thank you to Pops. Thank you to Pook. Thank you to Pterodactyl. As always, I love you fucking guys. You're awesome. And I think we'll do it's kind of my new 2.0 send-off, if you will. Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
I'm pretty tired.
Oh, I said we got a new one, huh?
Well, sort of.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.